Now I'm going to move on to preparing the eyes, the guides, and this is a pretty important thing here. When you have the, let me just put that there. When we have the eye, we have our rod. I'm not that great at drawing, obviously, but we have our rod, and we have, for instance, the first guide is going to be the stripping guide, and it is going to look like this. The guide is going to come down, and here is the eye, and the guide comes down and goes like that. Now what we want is we want a smooth transaction. We want a smooth transaction. We don't want to get a step with the end of the guide or the end of the foot. We want that to be nice and tapered out so it smoothly goes, because when you wrap, if you have that step, you're going to see it, and it's actually going to make it a little bit harder to actually get that wrap on there. You're going to be ending up, if you have that step, you're going to end up putting double or triple wraps right there, and basically until it builds up to where it's going to get onto the eye or onto the foot. So you want to keep that foot at that taper. Want that on both of them. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take some sandpaper and we're going to run it on the sandpaper. Basically what I do is I'm going to use the stripping guide, and here, this is from a rasp of mine, and this is a medium 80 grit rasp. So this works really well for me, but sandpaper, different grits of sandpaper will work just as well. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the guide, because these are, especially with the snake guides, these are made with a machine, so they're just coming off, so you might have burrs and things on them. So basically, you can take your thumbnail or your fingernail and run it on there, and I can feel this one has a little piece on that side, and this side is pretty smooth. This is a single, and this is actually a double on this side. So that double side is pretty smooth, but that single side has a little burr on there. So I'm just going to hold the tip, and I'm just going to run that on there. And that burr is off. I'm actually going to put the sandpaper on there and then run it on that sandpaper. So there we go. Got it nice. This is a very fine sandpaper right here. Plus you don't want that burr on there, because when you wrap it and if that burr nicks into the rod, you never know what's going to happen then. And this foot, this double foot especially, has that step on it. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to actually going to hold this here, and I'm going to file or sand that part down so I can get a nice, I'm protecting the eye and the parts that are going to show with my fingers. I basically want a nice ramp right there. Now I can do that, which that did pretty good, or I can use my rougher paper or my rougher rasp. But you want to get a nice smooth transition from the rod to the foot of your guide. So I'm just basically going to do that. I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to do this side, protecting the visible parts once again. And now that feels good. It's nice and smooth. There's no burrs on there. So what I'm going to do now, in order to prevent when I put the thread on and then when I put the finish on, your eyes, or you may see your feet, the feet of your guide through it. So basically what you do is you just take a black marker and mark it. Just put marker on the surface, everything that's going to go under the thread. I just take that, and I'm going to hold that up here, and I'm going to mark the other side. And actually make sure you get the sides of the foot also. You don't have to get the bottom, but you want to get the sides of it. Because you don't want that silver showing through. And over here, you see, I have a blue tape, and this is upside down, so the sticky is on the top. I just put that on there. And then I'll just continue and do the rest of them. I really stuck that one on good. And I'm feeling, and that's not bad, but still I like to take it and run, do the bottom on all of them, just to be sure. And then I'm going to go and do the sides. And now another issue, you place it down flat, and this is glass so I can't really see through it. But what you want is, you want those eyes or those feet to sit flat on the, you want those feet to sit flat on the rod surface. So once again, I'll just flip this over and use the other side. But, so here's your eye, and then here's your feet going down. You want them to sit flat on there. You don't want them to end up going halfway and then up, and this way and up. So you may have to just bend them slightly. You want them to get flat. Really, when it's really close to where the angle is going up, you might, you want to get 90% of it flat. Okay, now in a quick review of what we did today, we got the reel seat and grip attached. We got the tip top on. We got to let those sit for 24 hours. It's already, the grip itself is already getting tight. We got the snake guides, our rod guides and hook keeper. We got those sanded down to a nice smooth transition to the rod for wrapping. And here we got, these two parts are the rod bond. You can get these especially if you plan on making more than one rod. I would get these. If you're just going to make a single rod, I would use this. The epoxy, two-part epoxy. I would use that. Over here, we have the finish, and we have two syringes. We got the resin, and we got the hardener syringes. And I will show you later on how to do that. And we have two jars of the finish. If you just plan on making one, you can just simply get these, and this is the Pack Bay rod finish, two-part. Just put it in a cup, mix it up, and apply it. It's really simple. Remember, everything that you see here, you can get all of this from hookandhackle.com or hookhack.com. That is the Hook and Hackle company. So we're going to let this sit, and tomorrow we'll be back and we're going to apply the eyes. I will show you how to put the eyes on, show you the different threads, show you different setups or ways from the very simplest to as sophisticated as I have. I don't have a power wrapper, I will say that. But we'll cover all of that. And remember, please visit my sponsors, and thank you very much for watching my videos.